Lilu, this movie might be too hard for you to see. There's a lot of animal cruelty that just breaks your heart. What? This? This? What do you mean this is animal cruelty? Are you saying there's no difference between the extreme torture the animals in Guardians of the Galaxy go through and having to sit and listen to my movie reviews? Is that what you're saying? Because I think that's what you're saying. Well, too bad. Buckle up, let's talk Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Grab your popcorn, turn up the volume to 3, and get ready to blast off into the galaxy with the Guardians. James Gunn has done it again. Just when I was starting to feel Marvel was losing me, especially after the extremely disappointing Ant-Man Quantumania, James Gunn brings us Volume 3 and has me remembering why I have always been excited to see an MCU movie all over again. Gunn's group of misfit characters all together make you laugh, cry, and yes, cry even more in this third outing. You know from the very start, with the more somber acoustic version of Creep by Radiohead, that this is going to be a much more emotional journey for these characters. There's even a talking dog, Lilu! Lilu, this could have been your big break! But apparently, someone thought it was insulting to play a supporting role to the raccoon star. It's either all or nothing with you, isn't it? You spotlight hog! It all starts with the absolute love affair James Gunn has for these characters. He put so much into the writing, and it really shows on screen. They really are a family that you care about, and each one of them holds a place in my heart for different reasons. It's this love James Gunn has for these characters that really shines through and is the missing ingredient Marvel has been unable to capture lately. Like Thor, Love and Thunder, and Ant-Man Quantumania. The Marvel jokes are there, but they work in this film because they are earned and come from a natural place with these characters. I know animal cruelty doesn't sound like a recipe for a good time, but this movie is able to balance those heart-wrenching moments with hilarious bickering and bantering and one-liners. And there's even an F-bomb. Lilu, earmuffs.
You know, for kids.
In addition to being surprised hearing swear words in a Disney Marvel movie, the content is also overall adult, with many disturbing images and content. But all of this makes the world more lived in and not just shallow characters only for the sake of selling toys. These are all characters that have a lot of deep wounds from their past, and their connection through trauma really feels genuine. You feel their lows and celebrate their highs because they feel earned. I don't think kids need a sanitized world because the real world isn't either. Some of the movies that made the biggest impact on me personally growing up came from films with grit and emotional gut punches. That haunted me as a kid, but I remember it, and I felt something. The key is it all starts with caring about characters on screen, and it is obvious James Gunn loves his band of misfit space aliens. With the third volume, James Gunn truly unveils his plan all along, focusing on creating the complicated hero that is Rocket Raccoon over the span of 3 films and a few cameos. Rocket truly is the heart of the series, and the third act makes it really come together. Gunn, he's come a long way in his cinematic portrayal of raccoons.
Lady, I'm a raccoon. I'll pee wherever the I want.
Who would have thought Marvel would be spending millions of dollars on a talking trash panda and adding the kind of emotional depth to his backstory that would make Batman and Peter Parker's origin stories look like happy fairy tales. It is a very emotional backstory and probably the best one in the MCU. But be warned, it is a lot of animal cruelty, and it is intense. A theme woven throughout this film is that as important as it is to find your tribe or family, it is equally important to find yourself and who you are as an individual. All of the actors and characters shine in this one. Their chemistry feels natural and genuine. Just like our chemistry. Not forced at all. Not forced? Lilu, you love me, right? Lilu, you're just not looking for treats, are you? We have a good time, Lilu. We. The relationships that he has been building since Volume 1 and 2 are now more front and center than they ever have before. I love all of them, which is why it is such a bittersweet send-off. As always with James Gunn films, the best supporting character is Peter Quill Zune. With Volume 3, we have entered the 90s with wonderful choices from Radiohead to the Beastie Boys, which really amplify the moment. Speaking of the Beastie Boys sequence in the film, this scene is absolutely incredible and one of the best action scenes ever put together for a Marvel film. It actually reminded me a bit of the sequence in Oldboy. Just such a cool and wonderfully shot and directed sequence. The villain is also quite effective in this film. It is quite a wonderful performance and one of the most evil Marvel villains to come along in a while. He has a little more of a fleshed out motivation than some of the other more generic villains, as appalling as that motivation may be. For a loaded, wonderful cast, there's even some fun minor characters. Nathan Fillion, in particular, stands out with a very funny and memorable performance. James Gunn has been very vocal that this is the last Marvel film of his as he moves on to DC. As this is James Gunn's swan song to Marvel, it comes with such a heavy heart, as I've grown to love these characters just as much as him. I fear what some of these characters will be like in someone else's hands. I felt it was such a fitting bookend to Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy, and they'll truly be missed in this form. As a fan, I was very satisfied with the conclusion he gave us. Now, he is off to the world of DC. Hopefully, he can straighten out some of the inconsistency in the DCU. I think they have a bright future ahead. In the end, this is my favorite Marvel movie since Spider-Man No Way Home. It has a whole lot of heart, emotion, action, and just an all-around good time at the movies. Fun is always the key with movies like this, so come and get your love. So come and get your love, Lilu! You know? Like the movie, they sing the song, and don't look at me like that. Obviously, this film is getting a green light, as green as Gamora. I really had a good time with this movie, even if it made me cry. Damn you, James Gunn! It really was like saying goodbye to a family. I will miss all of it. Groot might have said it best. I am Groot. Oh, Lilu. Oh, I know we joke, but it ain't so bad doing these movie reviews. I mean, no one gets hurt. I mean, holy shit! Lilu, I'm starting to worry that I'm the only one that understands you. Much like the Guardians can only understand Groot. Have I lost my mind?